His body was failing him. He was in so much pain, so much pain.
Sharon Osbourne broke down in tears as she revealed the final words spoken to her by her husband of 43 years, the legendary Ozzy Osbourne, offering the world a heartbreaking glimpse into the last moments they shared together before his death.
He had pneumonia 3 times this year. He'd had sepsis.
Did he?
Yeah. And that's what really
Sepsis is...
destroyed him.
Appearing on Piers Morgan Uncensored, Sharon, now 73, spoke with raw honesty as she revisited the night that changed her life forever. Her voice trembled as she explained how Ozzy, who passed away in July at the age of 76 following a heart attack, had been restless throughout the night.
Seeing people that he never knew, and they were... I said, well, what kind of people? He goes, all different people. And I just keep walking and walking, and I'm seeing all these different people every night. And I go back there, and I'm looking at these people, and they're looking at me, and nobody's talking. And he knew, he was ready.
He kept getting up, moving around, unable to sleep, as if something deep inside him already knew what was coming. At around 4:30 in the morning, Ozzy gently woke her. Half asleep and unaware of the significance of the moment, Sharon jokingly told him she was already awake and that he had woken her up. But then his tone changed. He looked at her and said, "Kiss me." After she did, he added softly, "Hug me tight." Sharon paused as she recalled this moment, her eyes filling with tears, before confirming that those were the last words Ozzy Osbourne ever spoke to her. Just hours later, he was gone.
Well, the night before he passed, up and down to the bathroom all night, and it was like 4:30, and he said, "Wake up. It's already bloody awake. You've woken me up." And he said, "Kiss me," and then he said, "Hug me tight."
Sharon explained that Ozzy followed his usual routine that morning despite his fragile health. For years, even as his body weakened, he insisted on maintaining small habits that made him feel normal, one of them being light exercise. That morning was no different. He went downstairs and worked out for about 20 minutes. Then suddenly, everything changed.
He used to get up early, and he would say, "I've got to go down and work out." And he went downstairs, worked out for 20 minutes and passed away.
He just had a heart attack?
Yeah.
Sharon said she heard screaming coming from inside the house and instantly knew something was wrong. She ran downstairs and saw people desperately trying to resuscitate him. In that moment, she said, she felt something shift inside her. She knew. She told them to stop. She said, "Don't, leave him, you can't, he's gone."
How did you find out? How did you know?
Screaming in the house, and I ran downstairs, and there he was, and they were trying to resuscitate him. And I'm like, "Don't, leave him. You can't." He's gone. I knew instantly he's gone. And they tried, and then they took him by helicopter to the hospital, and they tried, and it's like, he's gone, just leave him.
Even as medical teams continued trying, even as a helicopter rushed him to the hospital, Sharon said she knew in her heart that Ozzy had already left this world. The love of her life was gone, and nothing could bring him back. The weight of that realization crushed her. Sharon admitted that in the hours and days that followed, she could barely function. Her grief was so heavy it felt physical, like something pressing down on her chest. Regret flooded her mind. She replayed that final conversation again and again. "If only I'd told him I loved him more. If only I'd held him tighter," she said through tears. Even after decades together, after thousands of moments shared, she wished she could go back and do just a little bit more in that final exchange. Piers Morgan gently reminded her that they had known each other for 55 years, since Sharon was still a teenager. But even that long history couldn't soften the pain of losing him. Their story began long before fame turned them into household names. Sharon first met Ozzy when Black Sabbath visited the London office of her father, Don Arden, who managed the band. At the time, their relationship was purely professional. Years later, after Ozzy left Black Sabbath's original lineup and struggled to find his footing, Sharon stepped in and took over managing his solo career in 1979. That decision changed both their lives forever. What started as business soon became love, and from there, an unbreakable bond formed. Sharon described Ozzy as someone who had simply always been there. For more than 4 decades, he was her constant, through chaos, fame, illness, scandals, laughter, and survival. Life without him now feels unreal. As Sharon continued speaking, she revealed something deeply emotional. She believes Ozzy knew his time was coming. In the final week of his life, he began talking about vivid dreams that unsettled her. He told her he was seeing people he had never met before. When she asked who they were, Ozzy explained that he kept walking and walking, seeing different faces every night. They looked at him, but no one spoke. To Sharon, it sounded like something more than just dreams. It felt like preparation. He knew, she said quietly.
He was ready. Ozzy wasn't afraid. He wasn't panicking. He seemed calm, almost accepting, as if he understood that his journey was nearing its end. Just 2 weeks before his death, Ozzy gave the world one final gift, a farewell performance that would go down in music history. On July 5th, he reunited with Black Sabbath for a massive farewell concert in England. It was the first time the band's original members, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward, had performed together in 20 years. The show was dark, electric, and emotional, fitting for a man often called the Prince of Darkness. Ozzy was brought onto the stage seated on a black throne, decorated with skulls and topped with a bat, a powerful symbol of his legacy. He sang iconic songs like Crazy Train and Mama, I'm Coming Home, staying seated throughout the performance. At one point, he looked out at the crowd and said, "You have no idea how I feel. Thank you from the bottom of my heart." Sharon revealed that doctors had begged Ozzy not to perform. One even warned him directly, saying, "If you do this show, that's it. You're not going to get through it." Ozzy listened, then made his decision. He told Sharon, "I'm doing it. I want to do it, and I'm doing it." He knew his body was failing. He was in constant pain. He had battled 3 bouts of pneumonia and sepsis in the final year of his life. But none of that mattered to him as much as saying goodbye on his own terms. And after the concert, Sharon said something remarkable happened. Ozzy was happier than she had seen him in years. For 2 full weeks, he seemed lighter, brighter, almost glowing. Every day was sunshine for him, she said. It was as if performing one last time gave him peace. In one of their final conversations, Ozzy asked Sharon a question that shocked her. He asked if she would ever consider getting married again after he was gone. Her response was instant and fierce. She told him to stop joking and said she could never imagine marrying anyone else. When Piers Morgan later asked her if she meant that, Sharon didn't hesitate. "Never," she said. "Never, ever, ever." Her voice was firm. Ozzy wasn't just her husband, he was her other half. After Ozzy's death, the Osbourne family released a statement asking for privacy as they mourned. Sharon and Ozzy shared 3 children together, Kelly, Amy, and Jack, and the family had opened their lives to the world years earlier through their reality show, The Osbournes. The show turned them into pop culture icons, but behind the cameras, they were still a family navigating life's ups and downs. Ozzy also had 3 children from his first marriage, Jessica, Elliot, and Lewis, all of whom continue to honor his legacy. Today, Sharon is learning how to live in a world without the man who stood beside her for more than half her life. She admits that nights are the hardest. Going to bed alone feels unbearable. The silence is loud, the absence is overwhelming. But she holds on to his last words, "Kiss me, hug me tight," as a reminder of their love. Not the fame, not the chaos, not the legend, just love. And in the end, that is how Sharon wants Ozzy to be remembered. Not just as a rock god, not just as a cultural icon, but as a husband who loved deeply, a father who cared fiercely, and a man who faced the end with courage, honesty, and peace. His final words were not grand speeches, they were simple, human, and filled with love. And for Sharon Osbourne, they will echo in her heart.